Okay, the FM22 beta is out, which means Football Manager returns to the channel. After a year away, I didn't play last year's game, so it was sad actually. I felt quite sad that I never even got to play it. But we're back, FM22, and we're starting with Chelsea. Why? Well, we'll delve into that. We'll delve into the squad and the excitement I've got for this squad is big time. So we'll delve into that. We'll also delve into why the channel is doing Football Manager again, and we will play our first game of the season right here today. It's the Super Cup. It's Villarreal. I mean, bring it on, right? Before we do that though, before we hit the titles, let me just ask, are you subscribed to the channel? I need you to hit that subscribe button. Like this video now if you want to, if you're excited for the potential of this save. It would mean a lot to me, all of that stuff. I don't know what it does for the YouTube algorithm, but it means a lot to me. It tells me that you like the content that's coming out, and you'll get more of it if you do just that. Right, titles. We got a new thing. Hit it now. Okay, then as I say, we are going to start with the Super Cup. As you see here, Villarreal, the first game at Windsor Park in Belfast. Let me talk you through the squad in particular. Why Chelsea? Well, let's start really by looking at the Premier Division and looking at the favourite for the season, which is in the season preview, I believe. And as you can see here, we're actually fourth. We're actually considered fourth and a little bit off the Man United and the Liverpools, which is a bit of a shame. I think we can challenge for the Premier League title this year. That's what I'm aiming for. It's disappointing not to see like Romelu Lukaku over Ronaldo, but that's just the game when it starts. Fabinho in at right back. I mean, there's Trent. There's. I mean, I'd say Reece James as well. But I think there's a lot about this Chelsea team to like. Look, they won the Champions League. They've won the Champions League last season. There is a lot to like. I'll say now straight away, I have not put transfers into the first transfer window. So transfers will not happen until January, which makes Newcastle under Hans-Dieter Flick, I don't know if that's been said correctly, very interesting to watch. We'll pick up with them in a few episodes time, I'm sure. But yeah, let's just see how this Chelsea team looks right now, because, excuse me, I am recording, but it is a team that we've got most of the players back now. They haven't been able to do pre-season. We'll talk about pre-season in just a second. But this is what we're looking at in terms of lining up. There's some real talents. This is actually the formation that Thomas Tuchel's currently playing. I do have a 4-3-3 type of thing set up here, which we can change up if we want to include more wide players like Christian Pulisic, for example. But at the moment, this is what we're going to be looking to go with. And there's some real key standout players in this team. I mean, first of all, I'd be remiss to mention him, Romelu Lukaku, the guy that really can fire us to a Premier League title today. This is what we want. Romelu Lukaku scoring goals. And I'll go into it in a few episodes' time, but over pre-season, I've been looking at creating more opportunities from crossing positions with the wing backs, and Lukaku's a key part of that. 15 finishing, 14 heading. Heading's a little lower than I expected actually. Really good penalty taken as well, which may come into may be important later down the line. Good strength, 20 strength is huge in this game. So we may decide to play him as a deep line forward or a target forward to try and bring people into play. But at the moment, we're going to start him as an advanced forward against Villarreal and see how that goes. Backing that up, of course, Kai Havertz scored the winner in the Champions League final. I'm going to start him as a shadow striker because his finishing is very good. He is just very good around the board. So there is a lot to like. You'll notice with the game this year, doesn't have a specific transfer value, 130 to 146 for Kai Havertz. So that'll be interesting. We've got Hakim Ziyech as well, Ziyech or ZIYECH. He is someone that I actually think is underrated on this game. I feel like he's a little bit like finishing 10 is a bit harsh, but there's a lot to like about him still. Really good flair, really good off the ball, vision is fantastic. He's a guy that can be a playmaker for us, and that's where we're sitting him in that position. But if you have Ziyech and you have Havertz in those positions, where does Mason Mount come in? So I'm going to start the season with Mason Mount as a box-to-box midfielder. It's not his necessarily best position, but he can play so many different positions that I think he'd be very good at it. Stamina 20, I'm trying to use that. let's see how it goes. Good work rate, good stamina. He's a decent tackler, good passing. For me, he's a really good central midfielder at the moment. So that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to look to get assists from the wing backs as well, Reece James and Ben Chilwell. But there's a lot to like about this Chelsea team. We haven't even got on to the likes of Timo Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi, lots of other players down there, Pulisic, who we did mention. There's a lot to like. So how has pre-season gone, I hear you asking? Well, I was live tweeting the pre-season as I was going along recording, well, not recording, but playing the game. We did play a second 11. That was more for me to get my OBS settings right. We got a comfortable win, but as you see with a lot of pre-season, a lot of the big players weren't available due to the international tournament. It was a real life problem for a lot of the teams. The likes of Lukaku and Mount and James haven't been able to play much football in pre-season. Really impressed with ZIYECH in that victory. Then we went to Notts Forest, got a good 2-1 win, and as I said, there was no Werner, no Lukaku, so I needed some strikers to step up. So we stuck in there the likes of Jaden Wareham. He's stepped up. He scored some goals in pre-season. He's probably not going to play in the actual series, but you know what? I appreciate your talent, and I'm just pointing you out here. Harvey Vale, though, he's a guy that actually stepped up and done quite well. And with an injury to Marcus Alonso, who's out for 9 weeks, he may just be around the first team to play that wing-back position if need be. We follow that up with a win over Derby 2-0. Again, two young strikers, Wareham and Sunsup Bell, getting the goals. Bolton, a 3-1 win. Again, the young strikers. But what I did like about these performances is that we were making... we were creating opportunities from wide positions with strikers' movement. And for me, with Lukaku and Werner, that could be vital. We didn't actually have any more pre-season friendlies at this point, but I thought 22 days between Bolton and Villarreal, let's add some more in and get some more people, some game time. We beat Notts County 3-0. And I just want to mention on this one, I did mention it on the tweet, we started the game with Timo Werner was back. We had a few more back, the likes of Christensen, and I believe Rudiger was back for this one. We did start him on the bench. Havertz as well, as you'll see. Lukaku started on the bench for this one. So we started with Timo Werner up front, and we were trying to work it wide through the fullbacks and getting crosses into the box. And it just left Timo Werner a little bit isolated. So what I decided to do was move Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who was in the attacking midfield role, further forward. It worked. 2 goals from 2 headers, and he also proved to be a problem when Timo Werner got the third. So a good 3-0 win there. And then the one quite negative of the whole pre-season, a 1-1 draw against Club Brugge, who are the toughest of the opponents, as you'll see. Romelu Lukaku played well, but we didn't see it on the highlights. So hopefully that changes now. Villarreal is where we'll start then. I'm excited for this. I am super excited for this. That is what we're going to start up with. Like I say, we'll get everyone else on the bench. We'll let the manager pick this one. The assistant manager. Oh God, I've just revealed so much. Anybody on the bench, not on the bench, who should be? Ross Barkley potentially you would feel probably could be on the bench, but everyone else. Yeah, Sunsup Bell for Barkley is probably the only change I'm going to make, because we don't need these 2 young strikers anymore. In fact, I'm sorry to do this to you at this point, boys, but enjoy the under-23s. I hope they have a good season, and maybe. This is probably going to be a one-season thing, but if you guys like it, we'll continue it. So let's see what happens in the game. Villarreal, it's not an easy game. One thing I don't like at the moment is that we haven't been able to use the data hub yet. You can't use it until 3 league games into the season, which feels a bit odd to me. So the first 3 league games, we can't really look at what we're doing analytically. We've played a pre-season for that, so I don't know whether that's quite right in the game. This is how Villarreal are going to line up. Moreno, of course, is the guy for us to watch out for. Danny Parejo as well, good on the ball. They are a good side. They won the Europa League for a reason. They want us to change to the 4-2-3 wide. I'm not going to do that. I am going to start with the 5-2-2-1 and just see how we get on. The opposition instructions I'm happy to do, though. I like how we're playing at the moment. I'm willing to let it happen for a little bit to see if it works and then go from there. Let's get Lukaku his first goal, though, today. That's what we want. They're lacking in match sharpness due to the international tournament. So this is probably a bit of a glorified pre-season friendly in a way, but I want to win it. I want to win a trophy. I haven't won a trophy on Football Manager for, a long time, because they're not playing last year's game. So get me a trophy straight away and I'll be very happy. Incoming 4-0 loss. By the way, this is my first video that I can use these guys. Do we pump the fist straight away? I feel like that's too much. I'm going to point the finger at them and say the fans deserve this. I mean, it worked for a couple of them are professionals, but what this is a chance for people to make a difference in the team, so hopefully they all try and do that. This pointing finger nonsense seems to be working, but we'll keep going. People are motivated. What about Lukaku and ZIYECH and whatnot? Well, Lukaku's motivated. We're in. Romelu Lukaku is motivated. We are about to have a masterclass, hopefully. It's now the time, Jack. Do I care about Sean Dyche transfer listing James Tarkowski? I am going to play in 2D, partly because I'm a 2D man, I always will be, but also because I'm not sure my computer can take recording and 3D, so yeah, you guys are going to have to deal with that one. But that's where we're going to line up. This is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be tight, I think, and it will be about analysing where we can get that extra edge in a game like this. Okay, nearly 20 minutes gone, not a lot in the game. The XG is really low, as you can see here, with 0.07 for Villarreal, 0.37 for us, so it's just gone up a little bit. We're not really getting involved enough. I'm actually going to make an early shout and just demand a little bit more from the players to try and push forward. We are slightly edging the game, but there's not really been an opportunity. Coughlin's got an early booking, which is interesting. ZIYECH over the free kick. What a moment this would be to open up the Hakim ZIYECH. Open up the series. How you mean to go on, my friend. Super free kick. And that is what we want to see from the wand of a left foot from Hakim ZIYECH. It is a brilliant, brilliant free kick. It seems that most of our best work is coming on this left-hand side. ZIYECH is drifting wide quite a lot, allowing Mount to come forward is what we're trying to do. I'll have a look at the analytics at half-time, see if it's working. That's a poor throw from Chilwell. And Chukwueze forcing a good save from Mendy. That was not great from us. I was just hyping up Chilwell, wasn't I? Okay, there is half-time then. We'll get them into the changing rooms, and I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased. Halfway there, just make sure you guys are on the ball, and yeah, that'll do. I'm not going to worry about individuals just yet, but what I'm going to do is go into the tactics and just try and have a look at the analytics if I can. How do I look at the analytics? Analytics is what I'm after. Right, we'll go to the second half and then not play it just yet. Let's stick in with the analytics. Where are the analytics? Where are they? But we'll play on a little bit more, see what happens. There's a chance at the start of the second half here. Villarreal with the ball, but if we can nick it off, we can't quite. So it's all about shape now, 3 at the back. We do have to be very careful here. Look, there's a bit of an overload in the wide positions. I can see that already. Rudiger having to mop up well, and he does, which is good. N'Golo Kante, interesting note in pre-season, Director of Football thought we should sell N'Golo Kante because he doesn't want to sign a new contract. Are you off your rocker? Lukaku with a turn. Oh, Romelu Lukaku, he's going to have me off my rocker if it carries on. That is superb. 2-0, a commanding lead. Lukaku, that's what you want to see. It said first ever goal for Chelsea. I did catch that. That's not true, is it? But it's his first ever goal on his return to the club, in a way. Lukaku with a super left-footed strike. 2-0. Game is in our hands. So I like that it comes up some of this stuff here, but I'd like to actually look at more data. I guess you just can't during the game. I suppose that kind of makes sense. It's for stuff afterwards, and you have to make your choices on the game. We're not seeing enough of the game to make some differences here. There's 15 minutes on the clock. We are looking good. But I feel because so early on in the season, with a lot of guys not getting time, we are going to make some changes. I'm looking at Kai Havertz, who hasn't had the best of games. And I'm actually going to give Ross Barkley that slot. He's a good finisher. So actually a shadow striker may work for him. Thiago Silva not playing very well, by the way, with a 6.3. We'll keep him out there, though, just because there are other people who can afford to come in. Callum Hudson-Odoi will be one of them. And I'll probably leave it at that. So last thing we want is an injury or a red card to ruin us on our debut into the game, debut into the series. Press that space button. Let's go. The trophy's on its way, I think. Okay, we're into the final 5 minutes. They've gone much more attacking, as you'd expect. We're still on positive, and Villarreal do come forward. They score here. We may just need to change it up a little bit, but they have lost possession. N'Golo Kante now, Azpilicueta, experienced at the back, keeping his spot at the moment. That was one position I wasn't sure about, but at the moment we're going to give him at least till January for sure. He's over the top to Lukaku to finish it off, and Asenjo makes a good save. Asenjo? I'm glad I'm not managing in Spain this year. Substitutions for Villarreal have just blocked the screen. That's not smart from Football Manager there. So, I mean, we could do without. Callum Hudson-Odoi has fouled one Foyth there. Don't send him off for that. Okay, just a talking to. Are Villarreal going to cause us a problem from the free kick? They are not quite. So I'm thinking we just go straight onto defensive now, just see out these final 3 minutes. It's not gone well for us because they've got a corner, 1-5 underneath it again. Is anybody marking at the back post? They somehow haven't scored, but there was an offside in there. And there are chances galore at the moment. I'm not quite sure why suddenly going to defensive has destroyed our momentum, but it certainly has. And N'Golo Kante dealing with that though. Rudiger back to Mendy into Mount. You could have gone wider there from the keeper, but not quite what we were looking for. Rudiger. There is an option of Lukaku over the top. We've looked for it, but it's not quite right. We do have to be very careful in these situations of conceding and bringing pressure on ourselves as Chukwueze comes forward and does score. With a minute to go, that's not great from us. I'm already on defensive though. There's not a lot more I can do. He's played very well, Chukwueze. He hasn't got the win though. Chelsea get the win. Get that trophy to me, boys. We're not going to see it because it's into 2D. That is the one problem with 2D. But a first win, that is the perfect start to the series. Now, there's a lot to do with the Chelsea team, but there's potential to it. And if we're going to beat City and going to beat Liverpool to that Premier League title, which is the aim of this beta save, we're going to have to continue with Lukaku and ZIYECH in good form. If you like the video, make sure you drop a like on the channel, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, do it all, do everything to show your support to this beta save because we're going to do something special and I hope you are along for the ride. Until next time, peace.